All right. Thank you for joining me for this charting session. We're going to go over a few simple steps to set you up for success for next week. First thing you want to do, go to Load Layouts. Here you're going to have one called Unnamed. That's the one I use for my charts. I never rename it because it doesn't really matter. Delete that. So that chart is now gone. Go back in, go to New Layout, and now we'll have a fresh chart. All right, the first thing you want to do is go over to your timeline, go down to 1 day. So each one of these candles is a 1 day chart. What you're going to look for is the high and low of key areas. I go to the drawing tools. I go down to the horizontal ray. You want a ray, not a line. And then we're going to lock that tool on so that we don't have to keep clicking again and again. All right, so what you're going to do is use your crosshair to kind of find multiple touches. Multiple touches is the key. Sometimes you're going to have some that just float around up here in the air. They're not really on key levels. And by key level, I'm looking over here at this side chart, and I want to see it be on whole numbers for the most part. So we'll actually open this up just a little bit. But here you kind of have a level. Yeah, so we're just going to mark these really fast. Just use your eyes, some common sense, highs and lows, multiple touches. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's a really major drop, you want to mark that. Multiple touches. I'm just using the crosshair, finding these areas. Say a high and a low. There's the double touch, whole bunch of things at that area. And I'm using the blue line right now because for me that means something. So all right, so there is a really key point. Like you can tell that was a major rejection area and it already is where there was a line. So what I like to do is actually mark that one in red because that is a real major area. So the one that's marked in blue here, we can go in and actually take that one off. You don't need to mark things twice, but you do want to mark the major areas. That's like things that I personally think are going to be a pretty significant area of resistance. Look at this over here. So I'm looking at this, and it lines up with that one over there. So there was a big rejection here, and then there was a big rejection there. So those two things, like that's a major area. So we need to mark that in red. We'll just keep going back, looking for other major areas. So we already have that one marked. There's some key areas in here. Oh, there's a lot of stuff right there. Gonna put that one in red. Get that one in red. See, a lot of stuff at that level. That's a good level. You want to get this bottom here. Again, you're just looking for the major areas. So we already got that one. Man, that's a pretty strong area right there. don't want that to be in red. So anything that's double touches, you want to be in red. That way you know when you're just glancing at your charts, you can tell the significant areas of the red ones from the blue ones, which are, a little they're still important, but just a little less important. A lot of things going on in this area. Like, just look across there. There's a lot of things. Then we can kind of go through here, get some of these farther out. So we'll kind of just speed this up a little bit. Now that you kind of understand the point, you just find key areas that like just jump out at you. Like, you don't really have to study the chart. Just kind of look for things that jump out, things that have lots of touches. Like this right here, that's a pretty major area. Look at this guy. Pretty major area. Lots of things there. Lots of things across there. That's a little less significant, but we'll... And all we're doing is we're just cleaning up the charts from last week. We don't really need a whole lot of lines because after a while it just gets a little cluttered. So you want to go back and just take a few things off. Make sure that you got nice, clean charts for a nice new week. All right. So we did all that. Now the problem is, well, what if it goes up? Well, we don't have anything marked up here. So most things aren't going to go too far. So you might have to go back pretty significantly to find something. Like so up in here. Let's change that to blue. All right. So we are way up there. Lots of high. Getting pretty close to some high action here. This is all the way back in 2022. So pretty strong area up there. Might break some new highs. All right. So once you're there, then just drop that down to the 4 hour. We may not even mark anything. Like something really significant would have to jump out. And we're just double checking all of our lines. Like how much of this stuff really lined, like right here, there's kind of a turning point, but it looks like we already marked it. Okay. So all this looks pretty good to me. I will go down to just, if you feel like you still need some areas. So let's just zoom in and double check this area. Let's say we get in here tomorrow and we start trading and we have a big gap. Like there's just a big gap. We don't understand why, there's a level happening. You could go down to the 1 hour and then also, like mark something in here. So like right now, is this a key area because we hit it so many times on the 1 hour? So probably. So let's just go ahead and mark that because it's a recent level. It's being respected. And so you can just go back through here and just see how many of these levels. Yeah, so we're in a pretty good. Like you can see how well that range is holding up right there. And just look, it's hitting there, it's going up, hitting there, then it's coming down. bouncing off of that. I mean, so these are good. You could really use these areas for really strong support and resistance areas. Okay, so let me show you how this works. So after we zoom in, so this is a 5 minute. So you can see here's 3 levels now. So we're zoomed in, we're literally 20 points apart. So these aren't very close together at all. And we look at it and we say, okay, as this approaches our level, what's it going to do? So all you have to do is decide at this level, which is 16,330. If you're confused, you're concerned, you don't know to go long or short, as you approach this level, all you have to ask yourself is it going to hit that and reject, or is it going to hit that and break through? And don't do anything until you see it do that. So once it hits that level, you could go short because it's pulling back. Okay, let's go back and see if we can find another example. Okay, we have our key levels marked. Red lines are very strong areas. Blue lines are very important areas, but they're not as strong. But let's just see how it works. So as you approach the trade, it's coming up, it breaks through, it pulls back just a little bit, goes under, and then you have a breakout. It goes up, it goes up, it goes up, it hits the blue line. So here's all you need to think. If it breaks through a line, go long. If it rejects, go short. So here we go, breaks through, you're in the trade, you're in profits now. All you have to do is just let it ride until it gets to the next line. At that line, you just decide, is it going to break and go through, or is it going to stop and pull back? If it pulls back, you can either reverse or you can get out for profit. So it hits the line, pulls back a little bit, goes up, and then it fades off. Where does it go? Right back down to the red line. This is literally range trading. That's not what we're trying to do. We're just the lines work out so well, it just sets up for really excellent trading. Same thing right here, touches the line, you could get back in for a re-entry, goes up, keeps going, hits the blue line, you could either exit or you could reverse, pulls back down, and then you kind of get in this middle area. Once you reach a middle area like this is a good sign to exit because there's no strength, there's no good indicator that it's going to go up or down for a while. So you could just exit and then wait for a better entry. Where would your entry be? Whenever you pull back and touch a line again. So as long as it's kind of out in the middle, you don't have to worry about trading. Okay, lot easier. Hey, come hang out with us tomorrow. The trading pod will be together. We go live every day from 8:30 to at least lunch. Sometimes we even come back for the afternoon session. It's just a couple of guys hanging out, having fun, cracking jokes, and we like to make a little money. Please like and subscribe. We'd love to share our message with more people. Come help us make more money with more people.